okay, you just leveled up. You're tuning into this because you've leveled up, but simultaneously, it's like you're still, I don't know if it's that old part of you is still dying and they kind of are like this, like they came over to the new side of this level with you, because there is something that is like changing rapidly, like rapidly within you. And if you don't see this change on the out, like your life isn't like, oh, but it's still the same job and the same this and the same that. A couple ways you can tell that you just shifted into this new aspect of yourself. Look at the people around you, like the people in your circle, the people you see a lot at work. Notice if there's big changes happening for them. Like, are people getting married? Are people divorcing? Are people having kids, like pregnant or dying, or like a new pet, or breaking up, or someone left the job? Like, there's just like big changes. If you're not seeing them right here, right now, within your obvious current state of being, even though you feel it inside, then look at the people around you and notice that there's most likely some pretty massive changes happening. This is a reflection of the change within you. There's also, because there's this, like, this whole year is just like constant, I mean, the past few years, but like this year is this like changing, getting you ready to hold this new identity and further keep shifting into this identity that can hold the weight of your heart's deepest desire, that is really gonna like pop off in this powerful way 2025, because it's the year of the abundance. And if you want to hear me go off on that, you should check out my I Am the Abundance workshop. I'll link it below. It's free on YouTube. But this shift, this change that it's like this constant birthing and dying at the same time. And there's right now, and we can capitalize on this energy. For those of us on our growth path, we're all collectively massively changing. And we can harness the energy of change. It's like the change is like a waterfall, right? And like, you know how Niagara Falls like powers like tons of areas around it, like it powers the electricity around it. Like it's like, because they harness the power of that thing, of all that like running water. So there is, somehow we can pick up on this change that's happening around us, harness it, ground it in, to use this to become the change you've been trying to become for years. So again, you're probably going to want to watch my I Am the Abundance workshop, which really we embody this on a cellular level and preparing us to hold the weight of this thing we've been trying to manifest for years. We're embodying it. So the other thing with this change is that you'll notice that there's old emotions. You know, what's new, they're coming up, but there's a new kind of like, you're not embodying these triggers or these kind of old familiar feelings in the same way. It's more like, I'm annoyed, like I'm tired of this, like or like, what are we doing? That's a really good sign. Instead of immediately becoming hypnotized by it, you're getting like, I can't do this again. I can't. This is a really good sign. The other thing is there might be a feeling of like uneasiness, like what am I doing with my life? Like a moment of like, what am I doing? Like, what is all this work for? Like, I don't feel maybe fully satisfied. Like, what am I doing? And another thing is just drink lots of water, because you are changing, okay? And this means like your circuits need to run properly with the electricity. So apologies, I'm not using my mic. So if you hear the horn, maybe that was just a sign. If you heard it, like, listen. I have to, my phone is low, so I need to charge it. And that's usually that is what I would plug my mic into. There's things where, because we're in this change, we're in this new level up, that we're jumping in. If you didn't hear the horn honking when I'm like, you're like, what is she doing? Okay, so you probably heard it. This mic is like strangely really good. So when you're leveling up, there's also this like, you've been in one level and you've had to like, you got really good at that level and you were able to kind of like jump a certain way. I'm referencing video games, specifically like Mario Brothers. And you get really good at that level, and maybe you had to like repeat and try to fight the monster at the end a few times, but then you finally got like good at it. It was still like difficult, but you got good, went to the new level. So you're in a totally different level. So it feels unbalancing, and there's just a lot changing. So the whole point of the water is that if you are just like 2% dehydrated, you're blowing it, man. Like your brain can't cognitively think as sharp as it normally would, and because there is so much happening within your body, you need to be drinking the water. The other thing I just want to touch on, because this reading is about your level up, we're gonna get some guidance, like what is this change we want to share with you, because it's just change. There's massive change within you, and it is a level up change, and we are getting information too. Like I want to connect to, what are these like old stale emotions, like what can we learn or hear from them. Again, in my I Am the Abundance workshop, what we did is we really kind of understood and worked with these shadowy emotions, because all those shadows want to fulfill a purpose. One, they want to serve you, and they want to transform into their highest self, which is usually the opposite of how the shadow is appearing when it appears as the shadow. So if it's feeling ugly, then that shadow wants to turn into like embodying and loving itself and being beautiful. If it's feeling shame, it wants to feel this profound self-worth, and so on. So it's like that's why our shadows have the diamonds, that we want to work with them and incorporate them. And this is really important for us to do right now, because you are changing and you are stepping into this new level that can hold this big abundance that you've been working toward. And that's why we want to integrate these parts of us that we've pushed away. Because imagine you're like this like big aura magnetic field thing, and you have to hold the weight of this level of success that you're looking for, whether it's in love or career or both or whatever. When you have parts of you that you've abandoned, they create holes in your energetic field, and that means that the weight of the thing you want to manifest will fall through those holes, so you actually can't hold it. So instead of being like a fishnet, you want to become this sturdy foundation that can hold this. And we, on a cellular level, we integrated our shadows with our bodies. So you can definitely check out the I Am the workshop. And before we get into the reading, I want to announce one more thing that I announced at the workshop, because this was just live. Whenever this comes out, it was probably a few nights ago. It was freaking awesome. I am about like your understanding things on an intellectual level is great. You get it. You get that you need to not, like, shame is a block for you. You get that feeling ugly or jealous, or those intense feelings towards your ex who was avoidant. You get all those things that aren't good for you. You get logically like, yes, I need to feel self-love and abundant and all these things. You get it intellectually, duh. But do you get it on a cellular level? Do you get the embodiment of feeling whole and self-worth? Do you get the embodiment of, what is the embodiment on a cellular level of being your own authority? What does that even mean? So what I do is I'm here to get you into your body. Yes, you're going to experience some of this in the workshop, but I am launching in January the I Am Empowered membership program, where because we're all about identity shifting and choosing to be the highest version of ourselves. And we can choose that at any moment, shift into that version. But sometimes it is like very freaking vague. Like, how do I embody that feeling? How do I, like, what if you're at the stage where you don't even know what it feels like to be abundant, where you don't even know what it feels like to love yourself? Like, how do we embody it instead of getting this on an intellectual level? So for me, the identity shifting is about really embodying powerful core foundational virtues within yourself that is building the groundwork to hold this level of abundance, again, on a cellular level. What does that even mean? It means we embody it. It's not just intellectual anymore. We're using our bodies. I do body tech, I do animal manifesting. We're doing all this stuff. And there'll be, weekly and monthly challenges where we're embodying this through certain types of movement and visualization with music to really get steadfast in this new empowered identity. So if that sounds like something interesting to you, definitely below is the workshop, below is the sign up for the membership waitlist. And I'm going to try to make it pretty affordable for people. So that'll be cool, but the workshop's totally free. Okay, so are you ready for the reading? Let's ask, just get my cards. Change what it wants to share through the cards, and just think of I want you to think of a waterfall, and back to that waterfall, like, how do we capitalize on utilizing this energy of change? It's not like a 1 second thing, quick intellectual thing I'm going to tell you. It's go take my I Am the Abundance workshop, where you embody on a cellular level this new level of yourself, this new abundance, this, really bringing in your shadows to create diamonds on a cellular level. Okay, so change. What do the animals want to share guidance and wisdom about this change? What does our body want to share about this change? Like, I don't know what, there's an animal apothecary card and my hair in this deck, so I feel like that wants to appear in the change as well. So let's ask old emotions coming up in our body. Like, you got a message for us. You are here to serve and help us grow. The animals, what old emotion? And then just like we leveled up, we just went into this new version of ourselves, and it's kind of new and it's kind of uneasy and it's kind of like, what am I doing? So what, embodying this new version, what does this new version want to share? There's 2. And then in our bodies, what does this new version want to share? All right. Love that. Wow. All right. Very awesome. So I'm going to just start this with what the old emotions want to share. Let go and bury. They're dead. You've been carrying them. They're dying. They're dead. It's like when you hold on to something that's dead, it like grows parasites and gets a rancid smell. So like, it's time to let go and bury. And your body is saying, shut it down before it brings you down, fear, worry, doubt. So there is something about your old emotions. It is now time to start having boundaries with those things. Like, and this movement is about being like, no, you don't get to dictate, like really have a conversation with these emotions. Like, you don't get to control my reality. You don't get to tell my story. You are welcome to transmute into XYZ, but we're not doing this anymore. Like having clear boundaries with these, it's not even the emotions, it's like the story that it tells you. Like, oh, we're so done with this. So I love that that is what the old emotions want to share. Our change. So you're about to shine. You're in this like moment though where you're cultivating your light and preparing to shine and share it on a really, really big level. And this can be like, there is something that has had to have its divine timing for you because of this level of because your dream is so big, because you want to be healthy, because you want to share your gifts with humanity, because you want to have the most amazing love of your life, or whatever the things are, you have to be the version that can hold the level of that freaking abundance. So you're in this kind of moment before the moment where you're just like nurturing yourself, you're doing the healing, you're doing the integration, you're doing the self-concept, the new work, the shifting into the new identity, and preparing this light within you to share with the freaking world. And your prayer is being answered. Prayer answered, and this massive abundance buffalo that's coming in, and this your purpose, your gift in this life, it's all happening. But you have to stand in the fact that your prayer act as if your prayer has been answered. You are a part of answering your prayer by embodying the version of you who knows your prayer is answered. Your body is like, there is nothing to be afraid of. Like, and on this workshop I did last night, again, I don't know when I'm going to promote this video, so it might've been a few nights ago. I Am the Abundance. We worked with Black Panther and we worked with Buffalo, and we actually embodied these two animals to represent grounding in the prayer. The prayer is answered, and the Black Panther ripping away the fear in your heart, because my friend, there is nothing to fear. Nothing, like, you don't have to worry. Do not be afraid. There is nothing to fear. But to get to this next level, we have to rid this fear that is in our heart. A heart cannot be in its full abundance of love and joy with fear there. So Black Panther comes, and Black Panther has been the mascot this year. Like, I'm going to show you your fear. You're going to face it. You're going to feel like it's real, but it's actually not real. And at the same time, well, it's really annoying. Like, I'm done. I don't want to feel this anymore. I don't want to see what you're showing me. Black Panther is also the guide and protector, being like, I'm going to show it to you, but I'm not going to let anything happen to you. I'm going to be here while you feel this awful potential of something horrific happening. And guess what? I'm here to tell you that you're not going to manifest that thing, that even your darkest fear is not going to happen. How do you like that for manifesting? That's how cool Black Panther is, to come and to work with him. We want to work with Black Panther because he's the symbol of, okay, fine, you're going to feel the scary thing, but it's not going to happen. How cool is that? Okay, next, well, it's actually last, because we started with the old emotions first, that you have to have boundaries and talk to them like, I'm done, and have a real conversation. What do you want to turn into, man? Like, what is this thing? Like, you're tired of being it. I'm tired of feeling it and believing it. Like, what do we want to co-collaborate? This is you talking to your shadows. Again, join the I Am the Abundance workshop, because this is what you're going to integrate your shadows. And you're like, what is it that you want to, what's the next level of yourself that you want to turn into? And usually it's really freaking cool. Okay, what you embodying your new version of yourself, this new level you just jumped into, if you were at the I Am the Abundance. I love that this is like, this reading is like, we're going to give props to like sell this, even though it was free. Go check out the I Am the Abundance workshop. We became the Abundance Portal. So this is saying your power to become this like vortex, this portal. You are the portal. You're the portal, and embodying becoming the portal to the thing you want. This new version of you is so powerful that they're able to use their body and their thought and sync certain movements with their thought to transport themselves into the thing that they want. That's why you gotta check out the I Am the Abundance workshop. Okay, link below. It's also why you have to, you're gonna wanna join the I Am the Empowered membership. You know why it's cool? Because how I work is like, I feel the energy of what's going on right now in the collective for those of us on our growth path, and it's really exhausting. But then I'm like, oh, okay, so this is the energy, this is what we need. How do we get empowered from this? How do we change what's actually happening right now? Like, okay, this is what we got to do. So you're like one of those people on your growth path, and now there's finally like an embodiment practice you can do to like get you to this next level. And why it's so nuts how like simultaneously we tend to be like this collective, a part of this, like whatever it is we're doing here, we go through these similar kind of emotions that need to be transmuted and transformed. And I can tap into that. And I'm like, okay, this is what the next thing that we all need to work on to get, like raise it up. Let's get to this next level. And then when we have a bunch of people working together with the same intention, oh my God, it's like you are the medicine for everyone a part of it, and vice versa. Like we're empowering each other to like rise to these next levels. So you're not just doing it alone. We are doing it together, and everyone's intention, unified intention, is actually amplifying everyone else to pump up and get them to this next level of themselves. So it's super cool. So back to this embodiment of this new version of ourselves. Focus on the bigger picture. I mean, man, Hawk has been following me for like hardcore for like a month now. Like just constant everywhere all the time. So this is about, where's your focus? Is your focus that you have this gift, you're a light bringer, you're here to serve this gift, you're here to shine your light, and that you have this big purpose that you're meant to serve humanity with? And I don't like whatever. I was like, whatever. If your purpose is to have the most amazing, beautiful family and the most amazing love, or if it's to be a star and like share your gifts with like a lot of humanity, I don't care on what level, that shine affects all of the rest of humanity. So we need you to come hard with the shine. Okay, so get out of your head about whatever BS you're going through and just focus on the bigger picture, that you are here to do something awesome, and like get out. Immense growth. Vulture is here because something is dying. So like, is it dead or is it dying or is it both? This says let go and bury. I think that Vulture is talking about, okay, once this thing, like it's in the middle, your new version is, from what I'm getting, your new version is telling me that this old version is still dying. They're not like been there, done that, over it. They're in the middle of dying. To get them to die and transform and transmute into this bigger level of themselves, you have these talks, this boundaries with them, and you talk about like, it's almost like those like people who are like, I gotta stay, I gotta hang on, and like, you know, they're plugged to all those things that are like keeping them alive, and they're like doing the death breath, like, and like everyone's like, man, this is like taking up a lot. So we want to unplug, and essentially the unplug is so they can stop suffering and become this higher version of themselves. Like, oh, we're just gonna let them suffer in a coma and like be this like weird thing that is like overtaking our life? Or do we allow this aspect of us to like transmute, transform through death, rebirth. And this says too, the golden ratio is that this thing that has been causing you to suffer, right? Because vulture comes when a thing is like dying and there's some level of suffering going on, but through that suffering, it can be transmuted into some kind of gold. So new version of you, it's like, there's still some like parts that came over it, but like, I feel like a very end, like we're ready to wrap it up. But a lot of these things you've been like holding on to for a couple years, if not like decades. So yeah, that's that. Clearly, I want you to join the workshop. Clearly, I want you to sign up for the membership wait list. You can do below, and you know it, world peace forever.